What's your
Careful.
take on the arena combat formula? Would you say it's evolved since Doom Eternal, or has it stagnated? Open question to the floor.
I think that they have done a great job with Dark Ages kind of finding a middle ground. There's a lot of areas in between combat where you don't need to kill everything that's in the room with you. My mind goes to the Hebeth mission where stone imps jump out of the wall, you go into the secret and an imp comes out, and then there's a bunch of little fodder enemies right before you go to meet the Hell Knight for the first time. You could just run past all of that. You don't have to fight them, but there are still those required combat encounters where you have to kill everything. And I think that they've done a good job at finding a good blend of that.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though I love Eternal's style, but Eternal also has a larger emphasis on movement and all that, so it makes sense that they want to lock you into more rooms. So I don't know. I like the direction they're going with it, though.
Yeah, I think with the Dark Ages, just changing things slightly. You know the foot noises that he makes when he runs with that. You know, you take that out of it, it's every bit as kinetic and fast as Doom Eternal. I think literally that one sound effect is what grounds it in this. This is heavy movement in that. So,
but the run. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say you can make it play like Doom Eternal if you take the new 2.0 update when you can take the slow mo off. If you increase it to 150%, 20%, I forget now. Increase that to that speed, take the slow mo off. You actually get a very Eternal-like experience with that, which is I actually like that. But I do agree. I like the Stompy. When I first heard that in the Siege mission, that's actually pretty chill.
I love the stomp. Look, even without bumping up the speed and adjusting slow-mo, the run speed is faster than any base movement speed in the other two Dooms. Like, it's kind of jarring going back to Eternal and being like, oh wow, I have to dash every second in order to be moving quickly. Now, just running is faster than our movement has ever been. Plus the shield bash. Once you know how to use that as a mobility tool
in your pocket at all times.
Like the game is incredibly fast and mobile, which is like, I think it's one of the like big missteps in the initial marketing was that they didn't actually show you how fast the movement in combat could actually be. It's the first thing I noticed once I turned the game on. I was like, oh my god, look at me running around here.
Like if we can even go back. We can go back for like 1 second and talk about mechanics from the older games to bring back. I think I would say shift key to run. Because one of the things that I kind of lament in a lot of the modern shooters is you're just moving fast kind of all the time by default, and there's no option to move at a slower pace and then hit a key to run faster in order to move when you need to move faster.
Incision uses it though.
Incision definitely uses it, yeah. And it's few and far between in my experience, and that's one of the things. Like I'm still sorting out my feelings on the Dark Ages. I'm not as negative on it as I thought I was for a second, but I'm still sorting my feelings out. One of the things I really do like is the shift key to run aspect of it, because then I can control my speed more. I can control how I'm aiming, when I need to move, when I need to I need to slow down and aim. No, now I need to get the fuck out of here and go over here, and then. The emphasis on moving as fast as you possibly fucking can at any given point is something that I'm not as big a fan of in like the more of the modern shooters. And I want to have that option to like, let me slow down for half a second, let me train my sights, let me move when I need to move.
Yeah,
I really like the methodical sort of like movement decision making that the Dark Ages has, particularly with the shield bash iframes. Like once you really know to spot an enemy projectile coming your way and just be like, I'm going to target the guy behind him and iframe through his projectile, that takes the game's movement to a whole other level once you know how to recognize that stuff.
Think of me that I was going to start by like saying, oh no, arena battles haven't evolved much, but then I was like, no, they kind of have. Maybe not in like the traditional sense of improving an arena with itself, but if you look at the Dark Ages now and you compare that to 2016, for example, easy example, they didn't take the traditional formula of what Eternal was, which is throw more stuff at it, make it more mobile, make it bigger. They kind of keep you on the ground, and Mayo mentioned it earlier, it's like you kind of understand where things are starting to be placed and how to use certain enemies as resources, which is actually unique. Well, I don't know if it's unique to Doom now that I think about it, but it's a really nice twist on how you can make an arena more engaging.
Yes.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't think it's like, oh my god, arena battles have come so far. I do think it's an interesting way to evolve the space, so it's not dead, it's not stagnant like I started saying. But now that I think about it, yeah, that's actually quite an interesting point.
It's a reinterpretation, right? It's not like it's like the next stage. It's a similar tune but played by a different band, right? It's like we had the meat hook compared to the shield bash. Yeah, they both take you pretty far. The shield bash is so instant. It's always available, and it's a faltering tool as well. And so, like, the meat hook didn't do that. I mean, meat hook would cause fodder to stand still, but if you meat hook into a Hell Knight, be careful, right? You don't want to get too close unless you're going in with a blood punch. Yeah. Shield bashes falter on anything under a Mancubus, and so I don't know. It's a different way to play, and I've found it very, very fun.
Like,
but
if
your
they
question,
brought back... So
I was just going to say the question about the evolution of arena combat. Is there really any discussion about it outside of the Dark Ages? Because I don't know any like modern. I mean, but like, is there a new Tribes?
There actually is Tribes 3. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've oddly heard nothing about.
Well, that's what I mean. Like what other arena shooting combat games are people really talking about right now? I don't know.
Slipgate.
Yeah, I don't say at this moment probably nothing.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing more telefragging in the new Doom games. You don't really see telefragging nowadays, and let alone arena.
They're saving it for the Quake reboot, baby.
Anytime.
What, you're saying Dark Ages wasn't a Quake reboot? What?
No.
We need a Serious Sam game is what we need.
Dear God, let's not get on that train.
It is, yeah.
Well, in this travel, may I have something to add to that? I don't really.
No, what
the Quake reboot?
That whole conversation that the Dark Ages were meant to be a Quake game.
Oh no, it absolutely was not. It aesthetically kind of gave us the impression that it might have been, but then you play it and you're like, oh, this is
there will never be a new Quake.
I think it was made to test the ground, though.
I don't know.
There will
I
never
agree
be
with
Mayo.
Mayo.
The interest.
I don't think that the interest is there on a fully public level.
I've been trying to tell people that if they make a new Quake, they're gonna call it something like Doom the Quakening. Like they're gonna brand it differently.
Doom versus Quake, or
because
something like that.
interest in
Quake is kept
Like
alive.
a Freddy versus Jason kind of thing.
Yeah. I've made that argument in the past, where like Quake's just somehow doesn't have the. It just has never had the staying power that Doom's had. It doesn't. When people look back, there's more people talking about.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, there's more people.
Untrue.
I don't know. So here's always been my argument. You can come at it from your side, but so here's my argument. If I go to my job tomorrow, and I say, "Hey, everybody, raise your hand," and I'm talking to random people. Some play video games, some don't. And I say, "Raise your hand. How many people know what Doom is, and then how many people know what Quake is?" There's a pretty good likelihood that more people are going to know what Doom is, and this is just a fact because I've tested in other scenarios and. 9 times out of 10, more people know what Doom is. And there's a lot of reasons for this, though. Doom has had 2 shitty movies. Doom has had several video games, spin-off video games, re-releases, remasters, ports, mobile versions, phone versions. It can be played on everything. It might even be able to be played on your mother. You know what I mean? So it's like, it can be played on everything. So it's like, Doom... And it was a cultural icon. It was like this thing that was bigger than everything when it came out. And Quake was big, but at the same time Quake was coming out, so was Duke Nukem. And it was Duke Nukem was just as popular for completely different reasons at the exact same time. Quake has always had to battle against something else, where Doom rarely ever has had to actually... It's never had real, true, genuine competition outside of Doom 3 versus Half-Life 2. You know what I mean? Butcher Bay just kind of got like shoved down in the trash can. By everybody, it's like it just like didn't exist for a lot of people. So
I think that's a
when
factor.
Doom was coming out, it's never
sorry,
had much
I'll let you
competition.
finish, actually.
No, you're good. That's pretty much the gist of it.
So in the 1980s, there was a big comic book revolution that pushed comic books towards being a more seriously taken medium. And two of those comic books that were huge and pushing that revolution towards more mature storytelling in comic books forward was The Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen. One of them starred Batman. And Batman is a name.
Shout out Batman.
No matter what you do, Batman will always be a name and more recognizable. But Watchmen arguably is more influential, despite not being as well known. Now, we've had the Watchmen movie and we've had the Watchmen series, so we've seen that resurgence. But we've had how many more actors play Batman? We've had how many more Batman movies, TV shows, etc., etc. Doom is a name. Doom was the essential, initial ground point of first-person shooters, kind of like Batman was one of the original heroes. Whereas Watchmen came and thoroughly deconstructed and pushed things forward, so too did Quake, and the influence of Quake is still being felt in games today.
Yes.
So the first Quake was pushing forward graphics, maintained the simplicity of the first-person shooter aspect. Quake 2 pushed forward the hub basics and objectives that you had to go and run and do. And Quake 3, simultaneously alongside Unreal Tournament, created the online shooter genre. So Quake built the foundation, and while not being as well a known name, for those in the shooter genre, right? For those of us who play first-person shooters, Quake is still a very viable series of games. Doom is just more well-known. Doom is Mickey Mouse. Doom is Superman.
Yeah, that was my
Quake
argument.
is the Incredible Hulk.
Here's my thoughts. I'm going to jump in real quick. I think that they could absolutely do a Quake reboot, but they would have to go kind of crazy with the marketing. They would have to really shove down your throat. Hey, original Quake, kind of a big deal for the industry. And we're making a new one.
I think they'd also have to cut the budget in half, because it's just not going to sell the way that something with more IP recognition would. I mean, Quake, absolutely is legendary and still important, and it still has recognizability and a fan base. But I don't think that you could give it the same budget that you could give a Doom.
I think the other important thing is that no, shut up. I think that the other important thing that we need to consider is that a lot of the staying power that Quake had on the closest to mainstream was as a competitive PvP game. And if you bring that back, you could do it. You can make a single player Quake game, but people are going to be confused because some people only know that Quake. They only know Quake through Quake 3, Quake Live, and
so
Quake
Champions. What you're both saying, though, what you're both saying is that Mayo, you're saying that it should receive a Painkiller reboot level of budget, and Trav, you're saying that it should receive a Painkiller reboot type of game. Is that what I'm hearing?
Perchance.
I think my argument...
More like, how about this? This is better. A Shadow Warrior 3 type.
Yeah. Give me a Quake like
Shadow
that.
Warrior 3. Isn't Shadow Warrior 3 just Doom Eternal?
A little bit, but
from what
it's
I've
still
seen,
really fun.
It does differentiate quite a bit, but yes, it is very similar.
I mean, thematically, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Different video.
I'm very surprised that the Doom Eternal clones didn't last as long as the original Doom clone era did. I thought that it would really change things.
Strike the same iron.
Well,
I mean, Shadow Warrior has more of an identity crisis than Doom does at this point. If you go back to the original, and then the reboot, and then 2, and then 3.
Is no one playing Metal Eden? It's like that.
No,
the
no,
game is
yeah,
so played up Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
It is so Doom Eternal. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Metal Eden has really
I never
knocked
thought
it out of the
that
park.
though. I thought Deadlink when I saw the combat
Absolutely.
in Metal Eden.
Well, yeah,
I thought
Deadlink.
Yeah.
Hey, Mayo, you can't talk. You're biased.
I don't need this
Guys,
shit.